Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. I am the Goose. Glad to have you back. And for those folks who are watching for the first time, I hope you enjoy the show. Before we get into the actual program, you know, I have to have my coffee, otherwise known as medicine. My caffeine, my coffee, very strong, just like my opinion. And you got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Ah, good stuff. Anyhow, hey, what do we got there? Oh, that's okay. Pia, what do you have? Ah, now we're talking Filipino hospitality. Oh, bless your heart, Pia. Pia, of course, is Jude's beautiful daughter. The coffee, Filipino hospitality, right? That's what it's all about. Tang, his beautiful wife, thank you for the coffee. And Pia, oh my goodness, bless your heart. Let me take a little bite of Pandasol. I know I shouldn't eat during the show, but I'm so addicted to Pandasol, I just have to have some. Bear with me. Now we're talking. That's a breakfast of champions, right? I'll have more after the show. Oh, hold on. I have to wash it down. Man, that's good. For all of you fellow Filipinos, you get it. For those of you who have never had Pandasol, try it. You'll love it. Believe me. Anyhow, let's talk boxing again, shall we? I'm so excited. You know, the welterweight division, and for that matter, the heavyweight division, has never been hotter, at least for quite a while, than it is now. We've been doing videos on, you know, the greats, the great champions that we have, and now it's down to 3 in the welterweight division: Crawford, Spence, and Pacquiao. And we also did a program on the the 6 best welterweights in the world, and that's been altered a little bit, with the Spence victory over Shawn Porter. So where do we go from here? Of course, everybody has their views on the Porter-Spence fight and who should Pacquiao fight next. Should it be Spence? Should it be Crawford? What do you think? Well, I'll tell you what I think. First of all, let's do a brief recap on the Errol Spence Jr. victory over Shawn Porter. A lot of people are saying, oh, Spence has been exposed. I don't want to use that word because that makes it look like he's a fraud. Errol Spence Jr. is no fraud. He showed me a lot. You know, in the face of that hurricane that is Shawn Porter, he showed that he has guts. He duked it out and knocked him down, I believe, the 11th round and won the fight. I believe that Porter was on his way to a victory in that fight before that knockdown. I thought that was the deciding factor, and it was a split decision. One of the judges thought Porter won even with that knockdown. So I want to see a rematch, to be honest with you. Yes. I want to see Manny Pacquiao take on Errol Spence Jr. Now, of course, a lot of us want that. We want to see the unification tournament in the welterweight division to continue, and hopefully, Crawford will be a part of that too. But we'll see. He's part of the. Thank you, Pia. We want to see, a unified welterweight champion, but. I love rematches. We've seen Pacquiao do it several times. We saw 4 matches with Marquez, and Marquez only won one of those. Decisively, yes, but he only won one of those 4 fights. We saw Pacquiao fight Eric Morales 3 times. Excuse me. Pacquiao won it twice. And who was the other one? Just recently, Bradley. Pacquiao won 2 of those 3 fights. So I love rematches, adds to the drama. I want revenge. I don't think he won that fight. I thought he was robbed. You know, you got all the great ingredients in the drama and the soap opera of boxing. So I personally want to see Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter go at it again, and we might see that. If for no other reason than the great entertainment. It was a great fight. And again, I thought Porter was winning it. But again, all respect to Errol Spence Jr. He's got 2 of the 4 belts now. And I think we're either going to see a rematch with Porter or a fight with Manny Pacquiao. So what will happen in a rematch? A great fighter learns with defeat and with victory. We've seen it with Pacquiao several times. Excuse me. Just getting over a good old-fashioned Minnesota cold here. We'll find out just how smart Porter and Spence are if they fight a rematch. I don't think Porter is, and if he's smart, he's not going to change his tactics. That's what got him there. This in-your-face, swarming assault style that he has. And I really thought that he gave Shawn Porter, or he gave Errol Spence Jr. fits. I mean, what do you do when not just a guy who's that aggressive and that skilled comes at you, unrelenting, but he's a champion. How do you handle that? You've all your skills, all your boxing skills. You have to change. You have to change your style. You have to adapt. You have to make adjustments to counter that. And I thought Errol Spence Jr. did a great job. He's a champion. They're both champions. So the next fight for those two guys, usually it's probably 4 months down the road. Who will it be? I think it's going to be a rematch. And who will win? Who's to say? That was a very tight match. It's hard to judge and to score Shawn Porter fights because he misses a lot. And it's helter-skelter, with all due respect. I love Shawn Porter. It's difficult to score. But, let's not forget one thing, and this has kind of fallen by the wayside. We've seen it a couple times in Manny Pacquiao fights, that the aggressor, if everything else is even, whoever the aggressor is should get the nod. And unfortunately with Pacquiao, and we saw in the Mayweather fight, he was not given credit for being the aggressor. Mayweather was backing up probably 80% of the time in that fight and dodging and juking and jiving and just, I don't want to say running for his life, but in a very smart way, he was playing defense, and he's the master of defense, by the way. So, that's one of the reasons I thought Porter was winning that fight against Spence here a short while ago, was his offense. He was the one who was bringing it, and as he always does. So I don't know what's going to happen in a rematch. I know it will be a test of both fighters. How can you adjust? How smart are you? Are you going to do your homework? Not just on what kind of style your opponent brings, but what happened in that first fight. Are you going to learn? Are you going to adjust? Are you going to be a little humble and acknowledge some shortcomings of your own and work on them? That's what has made Manny Pacquiao such a great fighter. Excuse me. With the help of Freddie Roach, of course, is the ability to step back, put your pride aside, and acknowledge some shortcomings and weaknesses you have in the first fight against any opponent, and proceed with that in mind, and taking steps to avoid that, or take advantage of weaknesses you discovered during the fight in the opponent. So anyhow, that'll be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. Who will win? I don't know. Now on the flip side, I still want to see Pacquiao and Spence. Now, I want to talk to you guys briefly. I'm not arrogant. That's not who I am. I've learned, don't talk trash. Don't beat your own chest. Don't talk to anybody about how great you are, because you're not. None of us are. But to you guys who said, Errol Spence Jr., to those of you guys who said Errol Spence Jr. is unbeatable, he's a Hall of Famer, nobody could touch him. Come on, be honest. You've learned, right? He's not. He's human. And he can be beaten. I thought he was being beaten until that knockdown. And not to defend myself too much, but to you guys who thought my prediction was a little foolish, I stand by it. I really thought that the longer the fight went, the better chance Shawn Porter had of winning. And I was right until that knockdown. The knockdown was the difference. So, hey, I stand by my predictions. I try and do my homework. I try and look at both fighters and with an unbiased eye and, go from there. So, I think a lot of people now say that Errol Spence Jr. has been exposed and he doesn't stand a chance against Pacquiao. I'm not going to use those words, but I will say, Pacquiao would beat him. There's no doubt in my mind. If they fought, Pacquiao with his speed and his power and his movement, there's no way Spence can beat him. Even at the age of 40, and he'll be 41 during his next fight. So I stand by my opinion. You guys, we agree to disagree. That's fine. I think that'd be an exciting fight too. So anyhow, we'll continue to watch both of these, all three of these fighters, and Crawford as well, and see who's going to fight who next. And this is fun, isn't it? I love it. By the way, I've got another show coming up, and I've got to give props to a few of my favorite channels. Dr. Bring It, I love him. I also like Dante's Boxing Nation. These guys are great. And Johnny Boy Boxing. Yeah, he's one of my favorites because he cracks me up every time, and he's very smart and passionate. He did a show, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but he did a show comparing not one versus the other, because one was a heavyweight and the other's a welterweight, Manny Pacquiao and Muhammad Ali. And it was, a real eye-opener. And I'm going to do that too with the help of my great producer, Jude. And again, thanks to his wife, Tang, and Pia for the great Panda Solid coffee. Can't beat Filipino hospitality, man. But we're going to do a show very soon comparing Manny Pacquiao and Muhammad Ali. They're both in the same league. And very interesting subjects. You can't compare them to anybody else. They're unique. They're both icons. They're both all-time greats. So we're going to have fun with that as well. Anyhow, that's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. Thank you so much for watching. Many thanks to you subscribers, and thanks again for the great Filipino breakfast. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care.